This week on the Movie Stuff Show, a review of the new indie comedy, Lemons. Stay tuned. And welcome once again to the Movie Stuff Show. My name is Dan. Joining me, my co-hosts Abe and Marty.
Hey, what's up?
And also joining us again, who are you this week, Leah or Leia?
I don't know. Maybe
We'll call
Leanne,
you
if that sounds good. I've been
Leanne.
called before.
Can Abe edit the name to say Leanne real quick? Probably not. So we'll just call you Leah.
All right.
How's it going?
Leanne. I thought you said Diane. I'm sorry.
Could be both.
Well, Diane too.
Diane, it's August 22nd, and this show is so hard to watch.
I'm also going by Diane this week, incidentally.
We have two Dianes. Of course, the name says Tom, so if you want to call
Tom live from his basement today.
Hey, listen, I'm not here to judge how people want to refer to themselves in what kind of nomenclature, what kind of. I'm cool with it. There's so much stuff going on right now that if Tom wants to be called Diane,
Not Tom Ann, though.
no, it should be Tom Ann.
Okay,
How would you spell Tom Ann though? I mean,
Probably a dash, I
Yeah,
guess.
you have to
my
type.
God.
Tom dash Ann,
Yeah.
or Tom with the A and then dash NNE or something like that.
Yeah,
don't
I
know.
think that.
Yeah,
That's
right.
it. Yeah.
Tom Ann.
Abe will fix it. It'll be fine.
Yeah.
Fix it in post.
Yeah. You guys keep talking like this, I'm going to quit. Oh.
Isn't that too late?
Too soon.
Isn't that too late? Like, didn't you already do that?
Spoiler.
I guess it's a spoiler. Yeah, we'll get to that at the end of the show.
Oh.
Gonna be talking about new indie film VOD Lemons.
Is it
Came out
Lemons
last
or Lemon?
Lemon?
Is it
Lemon
Lemon?
is the sequel.
Lemon.
Yeah.
See, I keep saying Lemons. Lemon.
Also,
Yes.
also in theaters, I believe.
Is it in theaters? Some theaters, I'm sure.
I mean, if you
Probably
live,
not
if you live,
anymore.
It's
if you live in the village,
I'm sure it's in Omaha somewhere.
Probably not anymore. I think it was in Friday and probably out on Friday. I'm not gonna. We'll get right into this. I'm not gonna lie. This was a tough one for me, and I wanted to like it, and there were parts that I found funny, but overall, I just couldn't get into it. I feel dumb. It feels like one of those IFC shows that I really want to like, and I just try to watch, and it's like I'm just an idiot. This stuff is too smart for me. I admit it. That's where I'm at with this. So let's go around the room. We'll start with Leah's got a mouthful of English muffin, or I would say start with her.
A mouthful of critique.
I finished it. I finished my English muffin.
No, I should just point out, before she reviews the movie, Tom was trying to influence her on Facebook.
Oh,
He
I
was
not.
trying to, yeah.
We just had a group Facebook chat that I was talking in it. I can't help how easily influenced she may or may not be.
It's because you're so authoritative. I mean, you're Cecil B., or I guess Tom D. DeMille, I should say.
Diane B. DeMille.
He's a regular Sven Jolly. The Boogity Man. Leah, what did you think of this?
You know, I really wanted to like this movie, and there were I was a theater major, and so when they're doing the Seagull from the Chekhov play, I was like, yes, this is great. I love Michael Cera being such an asshole, like the acting exercises and the scenes that they were like, I know those people. I went to school with some of them, and so that was hilarious to me anyway. And I was kind of hoping it would be more of that. I was like, why didn't they go back to the Seagull? Like so I liked that part of it. It just kind of seemed like they didn't really, like, none of it like meshed together. I don't know. It all just seemed very disjointed, and like the guy, like, he's not necessarily supposed to be likable, but I was just indifferent towards him. Like, I didn't really want him to win. I didn't want him to lose. I just didn't care. It's just, I don't know. It was pretty. It was a pretty cat. The music was good. I don't know.
Martin, what about you?
Yeah, I kind of agree. It's been it's a movie in 3 or 4 parts, and none of the parts work. I would say none of them mesh, none of them pay off. It's some people in this movie. I read off some of the cast. Brett Gelman, you've seen in a bunch of things. He's the hairy beard guy. I mean, but he works as the 3rd or 4th guy in the crew. Who's funny. Here as the lead in this kind of quirky comedy just didn't work. Judy Greer plays his blind girlfriend, the most non-committed blind actress I've probably ever seen. You don't see blind people roll their eyes at people. That's just me. Michael Cera, she mentioned. Jeff Garlin plays his agent, but he's not really. He didn't have a huge role. He's funny when he's on, but it looks like he shot his part in maybe 5 minutes.
Completely separate from everyone else.
They came to his living room and he got to do it.
Seriously, it's like they just basically said, Larry David, while you're filming the next season, just shoot these couple of minutes, send it over to us.
Megan Mullally plays a director or photographer of some kind. She's funny in it but it's like 3 minutes and it's not connected to anything. Nia Long plays a woman who somehow is attracted to him or something and lets him come to his family, and it's just
that was the best part, by the way.
It just doesn't make any sense why it would happen. The one part the family stuff I liked. I'll say that. There's a part where I thought that was when he's at home with his family, and there's like Rhea Perlman plays his mom. It's this whole kind of Jewish family dynamic, and that's funny. A couple of good one-liners, but then again, it just doesn't go anywhere. But yeah, I did not. I don't know if I gave it away, but I did not enjoy this.
Tom, why are we wrong?
I don't really have a defense necessarily. It's a movie where it feels like it wants to be that kind of 70s Woody Allen type movie, but he's the main guy. He's not really that funny. He's not really that endearing. He's not really interesting. And so you can throw all these absurd things at him, but it's not really grounded in anything. And so he just goes from one place to the next place to the next place. And honestly, even maybe outside of the blind part, I thought the acting was all even pretty good. It just seemed like they didn't really give anyone anything to do with that. Like you guys say, it doesn't really add up. It's not really, you don't really get invested, but it's also not complicated enough to be interesting without being invested. And it's just not that funny overall. So yeah, I don't disagree. I don't think you're wrong, and I don't think it's not a particularly smart movie either. It's not a dumb movie, but no. I don't think there's much going on. There's not much beyond the surface here.
Yeah.
Abe.
Oh fuck! I did not like this movie at all. No. I didn't know what I was supposed to be thinking or feeling through this whole movie, and so I just kind of detached and I probably browsed on my phone a little too much while this was going on. It felt like it was so self-satisfied the whole time. Look at us. We're so smart. We're so deep. And it did not come across well on screen. Lars von Trier would look at this movie and say, whoa, pull your head out of your ass just a little bit.
I think it almost even just seems so self-critical that it forgot to have anything else. Maybe so. Everything is so pathetic. And then it stopped there. It's just like a bad moment of low self-esteem as a movie. When
I saw Britta on screen, I thought, well, they Britta'd the movie. I guess I'm the only one that watched Community, huh? So.
And it's kind of just this thing where it's like he plays this character you see nowadays where it's like he doesn't know how to act around people, but it's just fuck off. Don't just shut up. Don't not to talk to black people like that. You know what? Shut up.
Yeah, Diane one said that she felt indifferent. I was actually kind of actively rooting against him at some point.
Yeah,
I was hoping bad things would happen to him.
He treats his girlfriend like shit, so she leaves him. Good for her.
Yeah.
It doesn't set up like he's autistic or anything, so there's no reason why he's acting this way. I guess Martin Starr plays his brother. I couldn't keep track of everyone. But he was a dick, but he was funny because you knew he was being a dick, and he was just an asshole. It wasn't like, oh, I don't know how to act, I'm being awkward. He was just saying shitty things to people. So, and that was funny to me at least. But the rest of it, he's just he meets. He goes to Nia Long's barbecue to meet her family. It's just doesn't know what to say around black people. It's we've seen that joke too many times now for it to still work. And just, I don't know. I wouldn't say I was offended by it because it's movie's too bad to be offended by it, but it was just trying to be something, and it just was stupid.
It's an interesting thing. It's written by Janicza Bravo, who is married to Brett Gelman. So I'm assuming that's how he got the leading role, or that's how she got the movie made. One or the other.
Nepotism.
And as of Friday, it has grossed $5,957.
So we
How
can
many
actually,
screens?
I guess
Like two?
Let's see how many screens that is. Like, it's probably like 4. Yeah.
Yeah. I can't imagine that the studio is like, yes, let's put this on thousands of Okay.
Two.
2 screens. Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
That's not awful.
So not terrible.
No,
then.
it's not
Like
bad.
averaging like $2,500.
I mean, it's got a lot of people in it that you know, so you can. I mean,
Yeah, like did you? I know you gave the rundown, but like Rhea Perlman, she shows up. Yeah.
she's funny. I think the parents were really funny. Like the whole thing where the dad keeps going on about the rooms in the house that he's redone that no one can now live in. That was all funny stuff.
I think we all agreed too. Is in segments. I mean, it's so disjointed, but in segments you can find like a point or two like that's. And that's my issue with Portlandia. I don't know if you guys watch Portlandia. That's my issue with Portlandia is if I watch an episode, to me, there's just like, I like parts of it. I can pick apart like a little thing here, or even like a new episode of The Simpsons. There's like, one funny thing that's in the entire episode now that you can still say it's like, well, The Simpsons isn't The Simpsons anymore, but there's still that one funny thing that you really like about it. And each of the segments of this movie had at least one item that I was like, that's okay. This is funny, but none of it worked together at all. I felt like I was missing something.
I feel like I would have rather have seen like each like segment, but like expanded on that. So like if they would have expanded on just like the theater part, or if they would have expanded on even like when he was with his family, like an expanded version of like the family members and like what I don't know, like his brother was I thought his brother was funny, and when they were singing the matzo ball song. I think that was my favorite part. Like, I don't know. It's just so silly and stupid. But see, like, that doesn't fit with anything else in the movie. It's just so random. But I don't know. It's just, I want a different movie, but with similar, I don't know. Like, I liked the.
I think are you sure you're not just saying that you wish you watched something else? Ultimately.
You know what, Diane, you may be right. I might have just been wishing I watched something else.
I guess my question isn't, and I'll ask Tom, is was there a point to this? Was there a point? I mean, we know the guy's a lemon. We get it. Okay, so he sucks, and his girlfriend or wife or whatever is leaving. But was there another point to it that I missed?
I don't know. It seems like I don't know if it really is anything different to say that we haven't seen before, because it's basically just the same tropes about the, boring loser white guy who's having all these problems, doesn't know how to act around other people. And I don't know, like if there's more to it, maybe, I don't know. It's kind of like in that Napoleon Dynamite sort of way where he's just weird, sort of beyond explanation. He's just a weird guy. And I think that's basically it. Only they didn't actually try to build towards anything. It's just, I mean, it's not even really like a day in the life. I don't know what the goal was here beyond. I mean, maybe it's just a big audition to get better gigs from, to say, here's some things we can do. We can make it look kind of pretty. Hire us. I don't know.
And like you said, we've seen the weird guy kind of role before, but there's always something kind of redeemable about the character at some point. Yeah. And there was really nothing with this guy.
No.
At all.
And I to latch on to something Tom was saying is it didn't even feel like a day in the life, right? I could have accepted that. I could have accepted it as a character study or character studies, because there are some fun characters in this, but it didn't feel like that. Like I'm not saying that a movie has to have a solid plot for you to be able to latch onto it, but if you're going to do a day in the life of this pathetic guy, make it interesting. And this wasn't interesting. Like even the parts of when the wife leaves him, it's just like, all right. And then he invites Michael Cera over and spray paints his car, and they have this strawberry pie or strawberry tart thing that he's just walking around with. It was just like, I think I should be laughing at this. I think this is
a blurb for the DVD.
Yeah, their whole conversation, I think, is exactly when I started to think like Tom. This is a Woody Allen movie from the 70s. The way they were talking about the architecture of the house and all that. I really felt like I was trying to watch. I was watching somebody trying to be Woody Allen.
But like they didn't.
They just looked out of place from the world. I don't know. It looked like they're like Michael Cera's fucking hair and like his like shirt that was all the way buttoned up and like just like the outfits and the looks of people looked like it didn't belong in this time period. I don't know.
Well, I think it either needs to be building towards something or culminating something, or they have to either be like the characters have to be complex enough to be a little bit interesting or endearing in some way, which Woody Allen at least could pull that off when he did these kind of movies. Napoleon Dynamite tries to pull that off. I don't know, something like that. But I think it's just weird. It's just weird and kind of funny, but not too funny. It's like it's so quietly funny that it's not even really that funny.
Yeah, it's like Dan kind of mentioned Portlandia. It's kind of like a movie that has a bunch of skits in it, kind of almost. It's like 4 different sketches in one movie. But none of them are great or fun. Like so I don't know. Maybe this was a thought for a TV show. They said, "Oh fuck it, let's make a movie instead."
Didn't it feel like it kind of felt like that? It kind of felt like it's like they started shooting a pilot and then said, "Oh, well, maybe we'll just extend this out and make a feature film out of it instead." It's surprisingly it's getting some positive reviews. It's not being destroyed out there. I think it's got like a 72% Rotten Tomato score. If that means anything, considering BVS had what 12?
Yeah, something like that. Yeah,
29.
And I kind of felt as disjointed as the BVS plot was. It was still a plot. It was still a plot. This didn't really have a plot, but I digress.
It doesn't need a plot, though. I mean, you can overcome no plot. You can overcome a comedy that isn't.
Right.
No, it didn't do anything well. That's just a problem. Because it didn't do anything well, all the weaknesses are exposed and really magnified. That's how I feel about it.
I mean, if it was a TV show, you'd presumably have like each episode is a satire of these different groups of people. So it's like theater people, the Jewish family, the black family. But then, I mean, so is the movie a satire on different cultural groups? Because I don't think it really succeeded in that way either.
Is theater its own cultural group now?
Yeah, I don't know.
And Tom and Leah as independent filmmakers, you see this often out there. It's like people just try to be quirky for the sake of being quirky, and that's their It's like, oh well, I made this quirky movie. So this doesn't even qualify as quirky. Like this is just so. It's like if you looked up the definition of quirky in the dictionary, and they tried to match that word for word, they failed miserably.
I'm looking at the Rotten Tomatoes right now. Wall Street Journal quote: "One of the more original films in recent memory."
Well, the Wall Street Journal fired anybody who was good at writing about movies.
That's true.
Fair point.
I don't know what's original about this movie, though. I mean, every single aspect of it seems like we've seen it before.
Yeah. We have. And if you just want to do like quirky like vignettes that aren't really connected, I mean, I should have been watching Clerks instead. Clerks was funny. I mean, come on.
I don't know. It looked like it could have been. It looked like they had fun making this movie.
You're so hesitant as you say that, though.
I know.
They might have had a good time on set.
Had a good time. I don't know. Like I feel like like I don't know. Sometimes I feel like I could like see like the inside jokes that they all have with each other that like come across on screen, and to them like they think that they're really funny, but like to an audience who wasn't there when they like joked about it, it's not funny at all. Right. Well, I mean, maybe this is like a big inside joke or something. I don't know.
Yeah. Are you talking about Tom specifically?
Yeah.
My movies are like this too.
Yeah. And Naomi Jones.
Yeah.
By the way, premiere coming up.
By the way.
All right. Well, I'll give you guys this one then. Hashtag synergy. Got it. There you go.
There you go. Logo, production logo.
Look at that.
Yeah.
You got swag.
You got mugs? You got mugs? Hold it up. I didn't see it.
Just one mug.
Hold it up. Hold it up. Hold it up. I didn't see it. Hold it up. I didn't see it.
It's there you go. It's an FP, but they're like merged together. So
that's very clever.
I didn't make it, but I'll take the sarcastic compliment, I guess.
You can't talk shit on anything Ben does, right? So you have to just support it. Is that
it? I can do it the way you just did. You're like, oh, this looks great. Yes, I see you put a lot of time into that. That's my strategy.
Okay.
Anyway, Lemon.
So I mean, I guess my next question is about Michael Cera and just in general, what do we think of Michael Cera? Because I again, like this movie, I want to like Michael Cera. I really do. And there's some things that I do like of his, but overall, I can't like Michael Cera.
I think he was acting here, though. I don't know if I've really seen him be a character ever, maybe. I don't know.
He's always himself, right? I mean, it's pretty much the rest of the development is Michael Cera.
Right. He wasn't George Michael here.
Yeah, right.
I thought it was funny how, like, for the first time he was, like, the cool person that, like, everyone else wanted to, like, be like. But it still didn't work. I don't know. Like, he just... I like Michael Cera, but I just don't think he can do anything different than what he does.
Well, I'm having a cat problem here. Hold on. I need to...
Don't we all? Yeah.
It's a cat.
Oh, look at that. They got brighter all of a sudden.
Okay, fixed.
You're saying the cat's so big it's actually moving the light, right?
I go and control it. I don't know what happens.
It's a great cat eclipse. Yeah.
There was an eclipse in Tom's basement.
It lasted about 2 seconds.
Abe, what do you think about Michael Cera?
Yeah, Youth in Revolt. Do you guys remember that one? I thought he was.
I like that one.
Yeah, I thought that was his first real kind of like acting job that I'd ever seen him do. Everything else has been George Michael. I can't take him seriously. I feel like he's so desperate to shed George Michael, he'll do anything. Yeah. And then this is another one of those things with that Napoleon Dynamite kind of hair. Man, yeah, I don't like Michael.
I guess Wally Brando was a character technically too.
Oh well, yeah, I guess so. It didn't work. The whole thing, that whole family thing didn't work. But you're right. It was a character they crafted for Twin Peaks. What happened to Lucy and Andy? What happened to them? David Lynch forgot how to write Lucy and Andy completely. Just completely.
Yeah, the cell phone gag was rough.
Lucy's so dumb now she doesn't know what a cell phone is. God, fucking everything outside of Twin Peaks works. Except
I told you this would turn into a Twin Peaks review.
I know. You did. You brought up Wally Brando. I couldn't help it.
How many episodes in Twin Peaks is it this season? Well, this round.
18 total.
How many are? There's 2 left or 1 left or like how many? How far into it is it?
Yeah, there's 3 left, but I think the last 2 come out one night, so it's like a 2-part finale.
Yeah, I'm 15 episodes behind then because I haven't watched a single episode this season. I plan to at some point. I plan to watch it. Yeah. I think it was Abe's dissatisfaction for it that I was like, I'm in no rush to see this now.
Out of the gate,
since we're spending Abe's second to last show as a Michael Cera retrospective, I think Peaks has to come into that.
Yeah, there you go.
I think we talked about the great period of Twin Peaks, and that's Fire Walk with Me #Synergy. When we interviewed Bob Engels, who co-wrote the movie, so that was the best Twin Peaks, right? Right, Abe?
That's right.
Fire Walk with Me.
There you go.
So I'm looking at the chat right now.
It's mostly just my wife and sister having conversation.
I see. Yeah. About so.
Does that make you nervous, Marty, that they're talking to each other? Like some things might start coming out
in the chat.
Yeah.
So far, we're safe.
Okay.
Well, your wife is saying Michael Cera is the worst. Ponyboy saying that Cera was gold in Twin Peaks. You got Robert Melee saying, we're going to make Britta a positive Abe someday.
There you go.
That's what Robert Melee says to you. And we got...
There was some early love for what's his name? For Gelman.
For Gelman, yeah, it seems. Yeah, I tend to like. I tend
he's
to like.
Not funny. Yeah,
you're right, Marty. You said it earlier. He can't. I don't know if he can be the number one in a movie. I like him in the background when he's 3 or 4 in the list of people. And I'm trying to think of I just recently saw him in something.
He's in Peaks.
Oh, is he?
He was in The Nice Guys, not The Nice Guys, the other guys. That was one of his first kind of starring thing.
Yeah.
But he had just kind of one funny scene, and he kind of popped in that, and then hey, I like that guy, and then give a guy like that more and more to do, you notice he's mostly a one note kind of guy, and it's fine. You can make a lot of money as an actor doing the one thing, but
I think it'd be interesting to see him play a serial killer. because I like definitely thought that was where this was going, because it said like dark comedy, and I was like, oh, is he gonna murder Michael Cera? Like
that would have been cool.
I like legit thought that. I thought he was gonna like strangle him, and I was like, all right, I'm into that. Like that's cool. But he didn't, and I was a little disappointed. So I don't know. I think he could be a good like serial killer with that, because he's just got that stare, like the blank. There's nothing going on, like dead eyes stare, which for serial killers, I guess.
He was also in. I did remember. I thought I remember this one. He was in Flock of Dudes, which.
Oh, hashtag synergy.
Hashtag synergy. I went to a screening of that. Me and 5 other people.
And you had some awesome
Domino's.
pizza and beer, right?
It was Domino's. Yeah, Domino's and Bud Light.
Yeah. I can't have Domino's anymore. I kind of wrote that last review I wrote for them. Burned that bridge. Not allowed to order from Domino's anymore.
But yeah, and he was in that movie. He was like one of 4, guys in a crew, and he kind of quirky and funny, and it would work. But I can't watch an hour and a half of that guy.
You did.
No, we didn't. Thankfully, it was only 82 minutes.
Yeah.
I think if there was effort to make him interesting or endearing in any way, give him like any depth, it might have worked.
There was no reason for why he was how he was. There was nothing. There was no backstory about
I guess
tragedy
they kind of tried to explore that with his family and seeing how, but I didn't feel that way. I didn't feel
they were
like
just kind of a standard annoying family. I mean.
Like a family. You mean just a family?
Yeah,
right?
come watch
my family.
Standard
and annoying. Just like a family. Yeah. Yeah.
Dan, you saw my family at my wedding. I should be as fucked up as this guy, but I'm fairly normal.
You don't just pee yourself for no reason with your blind wife or girlfriend. Yeah.
And then ask for 10 minutes. I just need 10 minutes or 5 minutes.
2, I think you said.
2 minutes?
Yeah.
I wish I could get it up to 2 minutes.
And it was like so obvious from the beginning that she was, cheating on him or leaving him or something. So there was no payoff for that, really. Like I said, she didn't really play a believable blind person.
No, it did. In fact, like it took me until she came back to him later on in the movie. So, wait, she's blind? Like I must have just totally missed it. Like totally missed it until she came back.
She was reading Braille at the beginning.
Oh, that's right. Yep.
That's the reason I knew it.
Maybe she just likes Braille and canes.
I thought it was just quirkiness. Like honestly, I thought it was just like, oh, she's just quirkily reading Braille right now.
That'll be the next Wes Anderson movie. People just who like to act blind because they think it's cool.
And
there you go. Tom, don't give that to Wes Anderson. That's your next movie.
It's mine. Okay.
Do it.
Write that down, Leo.
All right, I'll put it in the book.
The end of the movie is kind of just like a gross shit joke to an extent.
Pretty much, yeah. He goes.
I was like, oh, all right.
He leaves.
That's fitting, I guess, considering. But
I did like the part with, I guess, the grandmother where he just like runs away with her and is like pushing her down the street. I did like that part, but again, it's just like it felt like a sketch comedy show, and it didn't, it didn't fit with anything else that was going on. I liked it, but it was just.
Well, that was like that's a part, and like he's tripping off weed, I guess, in that scene or something.
Oh, he is?
That's what I assumed it was, unless he's just a fucking nutjob. But then, like, you see him later in the car kind of reacting as though he knows he messed up, but there's there's nothing to tell that he even knows his behavior is fucking stupid. And then we just go to him shitting, and it's like, and that was the end. Like, all right.
Yeah, that was unpleasant.
Yeah, it's like, this stuff's the phone. I don't like it. But then the movie ends with his car being towed. I was like, oh man.
Yeah, I was just so like,
like nothing made sense.
It's just like it's thing after thing where it's just haha, he's pathetic, haha.
Yeah.
And then, minus the haha, I guess. But
it
I think it was
like
an intended haha.
In parentheses,
that worked in like a lovable loser kind of vibe, but he wasn't that.
Yeah.
No.
Just a loser.
Yeah. Not even a loser, just an asshole. More than like a guy who doesn't like. Oh, you didn't have toilet paper because you're an asshole.
I do owe an apology, a slight apology to Jared Hess. Not Jared Hess. Who directed Napoleon Dynamite? Why am I drawing?
That was Jared Hess.
Okay, yeah. I always say that he writes these movies and he hates his characters. I'm wrong. The people that wrote Lemon hate their characters. Jared Hess, by comparison, adores his characters.
Well, it was his wife, right?
Yeah.
The same right director.
Yeah.
So, was this punishment? Like, did the wife write this character and make him do this movie? Was a punishment that he did something wrong, And she's like, well, now you got to play this character.
That's very vindictive.
Right?
It's very vindictive.
Trying to see if she's done anything else.
So I think she has, yeah. Was she the one that, oh, jeez. I just saw it.
I mean, her highest rated and lowest rated movie is both Lemon, so I don't think she's done.
Well, something, I guess.
She wrote for Atlanta. Or no, directed some TV episodes of Atlanta.
She's the TV director.
Yeah.
She did a lot of costume design, it seems. Like those are most of her credits of her costume and wardrobe department.
This is her first effort, I believe.
If somebody else writes for her, helps her write, I don't think she's not getting bad performances.
Yeah, right.
She's got an eye. The shots are yeah.
Like the direction is not the problem with this movie, and like it looks fine. The costumes look good. They just look like not modern, but
they actually wrote it together.
Yeah. I agree with Leah too. Like the stage stuff, I thought, again from a direction standpoint, I think those scenes were well directed. I thought there was enough.
Uh-oh. Did you all freeze? Yeah, we're having a little Skype issues.
Of these characters, even though
we're having a little Skype issues.
Skype issues.
Yeah.
I think we're good now.
Yeah, you're good now.
Yeah. Personality, even though some of the personalities you didn't like, but they came through in those theater scenes. The Michael Cera character, who was the favorite of the teacher, no matter what he did. And then the other actress, no matter what she did, was always pretty terrible until he was mad at Michael Cera, and then they kind of flipped there, for that one time. Yeah. No, I thought those were well done. It just
I will mention that just because I brought it up before, that she is a black woman directing, so I don't know if that scene with him meeting the black family was something that she drew from their own experience, maybe. But it was just it was just an odd scene to make, because like he goes there and it's like he doesn't know how to talk to them, he doesn't know how to act. It's
maybe this is the story of how they met.
Yeah, maybe, but I mean, if that's the case, Jesus.
So he brought the Jewish jokes and she brought the black jokes, and then they were like, well, what if they do theater things at the beginning, and then they had a movie.
I'm gonna smoke weed and take a shit.
Right, yeah.
I wonder which one brought that joke. I don't know.
Oh, do we have anything more to say? I was 7 minutes into this episode, I thought we were done talking about this movie. We stretched it out for a half hour.
I guess we all kind of have the same opinion on it, so it's
Finally, you all agree with me. It's about
time.
Finally. Last.
Congratulations, Abe! Surprise! It's your second last episode. We all agree with you.
Right. All right, so we're done talking about the movie. Do something a little different to wrap up the show. I'll give each of you, pick a topic that you want to close out on. Some closing remarks about anything you want to talk about. Movie related, TV related, whatever. Leah, is there anything you want to bring to our attention that we might not be aware of? Anything that you're reading, watching, anything you want to talk about?
I guess the most recent thing, I just finished Gossip Girl. It's great.
Abe, thoughts?
I've never. Yeah, I wish I could contribute. Yeah.
No, I actually did just start the Netflix series Easy. I'm a little late on that train, but I'm really enjoying it.
What is Easy? For those of us that canceled Netflix.
And for those of you who canceled Netflix, Easy is a Netflix show, and it's basically just like these little vignette story, like these little just like stories of like different people living in Chicago. They're all like in the same area, but it's like different. Each episode is focused on different people. And it's like dealing with like love and relationships and the modern world and stuff, but it's all done just like very well. Like the dialogue is like very true to life, I guess. I don't know. And the situations, like there's nothing necessarily that exciting about all of them, but it's interesting enough to be like, oh yeah, I've been in that, or I know people who have been in this situation. Like it's very relatable and enjoyable.
Unlike Lemon.
Lemon.
Joe Swanberg was nice enough to at least make it into a series, so you could give up at some point if you didn't like the first 2 episodes.
Tom, what about you? Any topic that you have? It could be about your own movies.
Well, I think we've analyzed my movies plenty. in this episode
like
here. Just like Lemon. Yeah, if you like Lemon, go see my movie Naomi Jones coming out in October. Well, if you're in Nebraska, if you're in the middle of Nebraska. So,
Not well. Sucks for you.
It'll be out. It'll be out 2019 on Amazon Instant.
Yeah, so at some point it'll be somewhere else, but I don't know. I don't have anything prepared because I thought we were just going to talk about Lemon, but then I didn't know. So I don't know.
Nothing else going on in your life that you want to talk about?
Not that I want to talk about. Probably no. Pass.
Marty, what about you?
Since we did kind of talk about a comedy, I will bring up, and we always enjoy talking about lists on this show. I will mention that the BBC came out today with their 100 greatest comedies of all time. And I just made some couple of quick notes. Team America was rated higher than South Park. So that was kind of interesting.
Oh.
Pulp Fiction, 46. Animal House, 47. So comedy right there. Clueless, number 34 of all time.
Ahead of Animal House.
Quite of Animal House. Airplane was rated higher than Spinal Tap. I thought it was kind of funny. Both in the top 10. Groundhog Day.
I don't think that's as a. I think that's fine.
It was interesting because they're kind of both spoofy types. That picked Airplane as the funniest, I guess, ever. Great Lebowski was 11.
The Great Lebowski.
The Great
Big Lebowski. Sorry, I like.
Never seen that great one. Yeah.
The only thing in the top 5 of our kind of generation, if you could say, is Groundhog Day. That was number 4.
Oh.
Everything else was kind of, Some Like It Hot was number 1, 1959. Doctor Strangelove, number 2, 64. Annie Hall, number 3. Duck Soup, number 5. The only kind of omissions I noted were nothing from Apatow, nothing from Adam Sandler, even his earlier stuff.
Well, so far that's making sense. Both of those cases.
No Superbad, no 40-Year-Old Virgin. No, nothing. I thought Super Troopers could have made the list. I love that movie.
I had no idea you were a stoner.
You don't know Marty too well. You've been doing the show with Marty for what now? 9 months, 9 months. You don't know him too well, though.
I didn't know you got baked all the time.
Hangover '98. That was pretty low. But yeah, it's your standard kind of highbrow comedy stuff. But I'm sure it'll make some news the next couple of days. Nothing. Okay, the one glaring omission I thought nothing from Eddie Murphy. Out of the 100 best funniest movies of all time, I thought he at least gets something there.
Coming to America.
Coming to America. Trading Spaces.
Beverly Hills Cop 3.
Yeah. Judge Reinhold, man, come on. Yeah, so that came out today. I thought that.
Abe, what about you? Anything?
Do we think Joss Whedon is coming back from this, or do you think he's done?
Can you kill Joss Whedon?
He will only come back stronger and more feminist.
Right. He's gonna take his pants off in a restaurant to wipe away the tears next time he's writing.
I think he might just go full transition. At this point, he might just transition into a woman. At this point, just to prove us all wrong.
That's not a bad move.
I think that might happen.
Yeah, I'm just really curious where you go from here, Joss.
Does he keep Batgirl? I think they have a built-in excuse if Justice League does okay to basically say now he's going to take over the Justice League or the Batman thing and then leave Batgirl to an actual woman to direct it.
Not an actual woman, not a fall woman.
A fake woman.
Yes.
A fake one.
Batman's already going to Matt Reeves, so he can't do that. He can do Justice League 2 if there's any call for one.
Yeah.
And there's other WB news today where they're just kind of they might just give up on this whole DCEU completely.
It might be done.
Because they're talking about Todd Phillips and Scorsese doing a Joker film that has nothing to do with anything. So they might just let Reeves do a Batman movie that has nothing to do with anything.
A joke. Terrible. Terrible. All right, let's wrap this up. Thanks everyone in the chat for joining us. Please make sure to like this video, comment below, subscribe to us. You can also follow us on Instagram, Facebook, and Twitter at Movie Stuff Show. Marty's been tweeting out a lot of things lately. Like he mentioned the BBC list and the Scorsese thing and some other stuff. He apparently watched SummerSlam. He was tweeting about SummerSlam.
Me and Jamil had a little chat about
that. Marty's off next week. He's got his honeymoon.
Down in Aruba.
I had a great time in Aruba. If if you want to know, you drink a lot, right? I mean, this is pretty much. So there's a bus tour called the Cuckoo Canuco tour where you just basically get on a bus and you drink and you stop by bars and you drink some more and you get back on the bus and you drink. And
can you still say the name of the tour as you're drunk though? Because I don't know if I.
No. I think that's why they call it the Cuckoo Canuco tour. So by the end, you just.
I need to go to the.
Just follow the brightly colored bus with the very loud bus driver who's screaming at you the whole time.
So you're basically undoing every American stereotype you can along the way, right? You're not reinforcing it at all. Yes.
Right.
Yes.
No.
Okay.
So it's pretty much what that is. So
I
Abe and I
Turistas. It wasn't bad.
Hostel 2, Hostel 3.
Yeah, Turistas. Yeah, there you go.
Yeah, all works. So Abe and I will be back next week. So this is the spoiler from earlier in the show for Abe's final show as a regular host.
Yes.
So I've been podcasting now for almost 5 years, and since let's see, it was April. I think it was April of 2015. April of 2015 is when Abe joined me, and we started doing movies and stuff
on YouTube. I thought it was before.
No. April 2015 is when we started doing the audio show, and then we moved to YouTube. Not too long after that.
No.
We only did the audio show for a little while before we went to YouTube, and then we started doing the live show after that. So I mean, it's been a lot in a short period of time, really. But it comes to an end, a bittersweet end. Next week will be, Abe's final, not appearance, but final appearance as a main host of the show.
Yes. It'll be one of you plebs next time.
So we'll have him on for some roundtables and some other stuff down the road. So next week we'll kind of talk about the show's origins. We'll talk about some of our favorite moments of the show, some of the times that the show didn't really go well. We've had
you guys can do a clip show.
We could do a clip show, but then that would actually require us to put clips together, and I've done that before. We're not going to do that. We're going to talk about the clips, and then people can watch the episodes. So
there you go. Yeah, you can go back and watch it
the whole time. Yeah. Again, bummed out that Abe is leaving us, but he'll still be on. So tune in next week for that. Thank you everyone for watching this episode, even though the movie was
shit. We're not ready. Wait, I accidentally closed the tab. We're not ready to go yet. Sorry. Keep talking.
I was going to say thank you, Diane and Diane, for joining us.
You're welcome.
Appreciate it. With that, we'll close out the episode. Goodbye. Is that it? Can I end now? Do I still have to keep talking?
Yeah, I'm just now getting to the live control room. This fucking thing crashed on me. All right, we're out. Bye.